For 2024, I also see there being AI first companies.
Do you think Siri is going to get an AI upgrade?
Channel One, AI generated news. It's getting towards the end of the year. I thought it'd be good to maybe have a chat about what we think is going to happen next year and make some predictions. We started off in 22 saying that AI was going to be this next platform shift, and during the last year and a bit, we've sort of seen that happen.
The last year's prediction were pretty accurate. AI was a dominant force in tech, actually a dominant force in the world. And I don't think a lot of people saw that coming. Give some credit to Empress and to us for that. So here's the three predictions. AI is going to stay dominant for the year. Regulatory developments are coming, and assistance, new modality for interacting with computers, is going to become mainstream. That's my first three predictions. So currently, I think it's undisputable that AI is the biggest buzz. So the question is, it going to be eclipsed by something else this coming year? You know how crypto was the buzz and then AI came? Can we see anything else coming that's going to overtake? My prediction is that no, AI is going to keep being the dominant force in tech and in venture, and it's going to keep being a disruptor.
To your point, I think there are these other technologies that are going to come to the forefront as well. Web3 is making a bit of a resurgence. If you look at some of the things that are happening in that blockchain space, there is a bit of a resurgence. But I don't think that's mutually exclusive to AI doing well. Robotics, genomics, all those things are going to become more and more prevalent with AI. So I think there's going to be this combination.
My first actual prediction is just kind of more of the same in the sense of volume. But we have to remember, AI was a novelty that's unregulated. We just heard last week that the European Union is finalizing their AI Act. It's going to get to vote on beginning of next year. So I may lose my bet. My bet was there's going to be globally effective regulation by the end of the year.
Your point around regulation, I think that will become quite a big issue. And it might be around a regulation of how we identify AI generated content. But I think this is going to take some time. And we've seen how quickly this is moving. For the legislators in any country to agree something as well is going to take, a considerable amount of time. So anytime there's these big technology changes, people try and restrict what can happen. And then the people that are ahead try and say, yes, we should do that, stop new people coming in. And so that regulatory capture is going to be interesting. My number one question is, what can actually be done? The technology will be capable, but we'll have legal ways of stopping people doing things that you don't want them to do. Do you think it can be regulated?
I think it's 100% can be regulated. I'm also 100% think it should be regulated. And I'm also going to admit that it will be probably badly regulated and there will be pushback. We're not going to get it perfect first time, but I think, democracy is a conversation, and the conversation has back and forth. We saw what the tech needs to do. Society needs to react, and then the tech will react, and society will react. And that thing is called the process of progress. I think that 2024 is an election year in the United States. And I think we're going to see the avalanche of manipulated media. All the things we've been worried about, there were still fringe concerns. They weren't like, they were, you can't really say that deep fakes are fringe anymore, but you can't say that majority of people in Western societies are worried about them on a weekly basis. I think because it's going to be an election year, because the stakes are high and it looks like it's going to be an ugly election year, if you know what I mean. They're going to be bad actors utilizing whatever they can to get an advantage. And it will be within the letter of the law, so to speak. I think we're going to see a crystallization of the understanding of how important it is to regulate AI. As it was in 2022, we understood how important it is to, be pandemic prepared. So guess what? A tsunami of disinformation on social media is also really shitty. And I think there's going to be a crystallization of the understanding during 2024. So I think it's going to be a big year for both regulation, both awareness about this risk, and hopefully technologies that are able to combat authenticity technology, if you want to call them like that.
What about the use of AI in a legitimate way in this? I don't know if you've seen the Channel One. There's a tweet earlier this week around AI generated news and 20 minutes of fully AI generated, incorporated with real footage, with AI reporters. I mean, how do you view something like that? Do you think in 2024 this is going to become a more accepted way of reporting news?
I don't think it will be normal yet. I think it will get some traction. It's hard to tell, right? It's like a classic prediction, venture prediction. You think to predict here is not whether the technology is going to work. I think we can see that the technology of basically auto-generated news will work. So it's not a technology bet, it's a market acceptance bet. And then that's like a cultural bet, right? Will humans want to see news generated by fake, avatars? Maybe, maybe not. It's not clear what's the benefit of that, frankly. Like, I watched it and I was like, wow, this is amazing. But it raised a lot of concerns, right? You can start see how like you can tailor news personalized to each individual person to hear exactly what you want them to hear in order to influence their opinion. So that's in a way scary, right? That's like a weapon of mass influence. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really important, very powerful capability. I definitely will see it as a target of regulation. Absolutely. I think in Australia specifically have a history of protecting its news independence, and understanding news is not just a business, it's also a social service. Whether it will take as a commercial success, that's the real question. And I can't tell you I've got an opinion other than like, this is interesting and I'm interested in looking more. Well, what's your take?
I feel like this is going to start to become the norm. I think it's going to be whether we know it or whether we don't, whether you have to report it, whether you don't. I think the next stage is the social implications of some of this. And I think 2024 may be the year of Her. The movie Her, people start to interact with an AI. We're seeing that already. And I think that will become a product set that I think is going to blow up, whether it be customer service, whether it be having a virtual girlfriend. It's going to feel real. For a lot of people, they may even know it's not real. But I think we're going to go into this age, and I don't know what the implications of that are, but I do think that's going to be possible. And I do think there's a commercial side to that of being able to do good, bad, and otherwise. And so I think 2024 will be the year from a feeling personalized point of view will feel more normal than it ever has. And I think there's going to be real rejection of that and a real acceptance of that. It's going to be one way or the other. People are going to be repulsed by it and people are going to be kind of the opposite.
So here's a prediction question. Do you think they will bake an assistant into the operating system? Do you think Siri is going to get an AI upgrade this coming year?
Well, I don't know if it's this year, but that definitely. I mean, if you look at what you're able to do, I think this having a new interface, I think we're going to start to see that play out. We've talked about that earlier this year as well. I'm wearing my Buzzy shirt, actually. I think we're about to have a real big step change from what we've been doing in the past. Talking about, companies like Buzzy, where people who are non-technical can now start to do things they've never been able to do before and do it quickly and at a cost point that they've never been able to do that before.
In 1987, Apple released a video. It was an internal video. They haven't released it to the public. It was about a knowledge navigator. Have you ever seen that?
No.
So what you see there is a vision for what computing could be as of the year 1987. And what you see is basically an iPad-looking device, a person interacting with an iPad-looking device, doing some sort of office work, researching something. He's a professor. And there's an assistant on the computer that tracks what the person is doing, provide help. The person can talk to this assistant, anticipate what help they will need, actually intervene. So it's a very interesting vision. 87, so that's 35 years. We've seen the Google Gemini demo. Some people say it was a fake demo. It definitely looked like an edited demo and semi-fake. I think that's like whatever. So it's a little bit fake, but it still definitely shows capabilities that are coming. That capability is now understood to be the next step in the evolution of operating systems and the way we interact with computers. It's big, it's coming, and it's coming fast. And the real question is what that race means for the big tech players, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, if they all come up with those assistants. And what is it going to happen to businesses who are predominantly web businesses that derive their value from basically advertising as you navigate the web? That's the big question for 2024 for me.
I also see that there being AI first companies. That's what we're starting to see, ex-Facebook, Google, other companies where the big players have let go of some people, combined with this new breed of founders that are smaller, faster, start with everything that is generated using AI throughout their whole company, how they work. I think this is what's exciting. How do bigger companies adopt this mindset, to your point, cannibalize what they're doing to be able to compete? I think that's the exciting thing for us in terms of funding companies. The next 3 to 5 years, the golden age, we're going to have some amazing solutions. So my prediction is there's the AI first companies. We're going to see that a lot more.
So to summarize, 3 things that are interesting for us for 2024. The dominance of AI is accelerating. Regulatory developments are coming. And, the rise of assistants and companions, AI companions and assistants.
100%. I think all 3 of those areas are going to have significant impact to the way we live, going to have a significant impact to organizations. And so this is a great opportunity. It's an exciting time. 2024 is going to be a great year. I think there's challenges with that. But that's why we love what we're doing. I can't wait for 2024.
All right. It's going to be an interesting year.
Probably be one of our last episodes, if not our last episode before the break. So wish everyone a fantastic 2024. Wish everyone a happy festive season. Stay safe. We'll be back next year.
Merry Christmas. Enjoy your summer. 2024 is a nice number. There's a ring to it. 24 is a good number. I think it's going to be a great year.
Let's do it. All right. That's this week, hopefully this year. And let's see how our predictions play out next year. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.